Our world has developed into a range of technology which we depend on. We humans rely on electrical charges which ignite sparks into lifeless things. Although we should explore the vast canyons that the planet Earth has to offer, we'd rather watch it on the Discovery Channel at home. It's like we've been sucked into a giant black hole and there's no way out. But there is a way we can escape the violent activity which haunts our solar system. Entertainment. For many years, entertainment has been the soul of our society. Yes, you feel like sleeping because of my soothing voice, but I'm passionate about the physics of television.
Action film necessities.
Cars.
Guns. Car chases.
Pretty ladies.
A good-looking man.
The bad people.
Good people.
And you have your action film.
Did we mention explosions? Well, we don't have enough money for the real thing, so we use CGI. Real explosions are a thing of the past. CGI is here and better than ever.
But before all that, we need to find our audience.
We questioned 100 people, both men and women, about action films.
We asked, what age, gender do you think prefer action films? 70% said mostly a male audience from about 15 to 35.
Where have you seen action films advertised? Almost all of the people we asked answered television or posters.
How many had they heard of? 100% said they had heard of at least one, and over 60 said between 3 and 6.
How many had they actually seen? 40% said between 2 and 4, 60% said between 1 and 2.
Did they think the action films are popular? Do they think more films in that genre are coming out? 80% answered yes, they are popular, and 95% said that they thought more action films are coming out.
What's your favourite action film and why?
Action film, there's a few, but I think Predator, the original Predator film from the 80s, because when I was a kid it was the first film that I sort of managed to sort of watch when my parents weren't around. So I was like, snuck upstairs, turned the TV on, watched this film. It was a bit violent, a bit scary, had monsters in it. Had the big muscle men in, loads of ex-wrestlers and stuff like that. It was all good, it was brilliant. Good mixture of sci-fi and action. Ace.
What would you change in action films or like to see?
If I was to change an action film, I would make it more realistic, have a realistic storyline, and not too over-dramatic, because I think the actors tend to make it a lot more dramatic than what it actually is.
What do you think has changed in action films over the years?
Well, I think it's changing now because sort of, as I said earlier, Predator was really good in the 80s, but then in the 90s you had films like Heat with Michael Mann that had elements of action in there, but they were shot so dynamically and so well that I think it's altered what an action film needs to be anymore.
If you were to make an action film, what would you do to make it stand out and why?
I think, like I just said, I'd shoot some really sleek action and stuff where it wasn't ridiculous like the A-Team movie where there's a tank in the middle of the air and it's shooting and stuff. That's just ridiculous. So make it as realistic as possible. That's what I do.
What do you think has changed in action films over the years?
They've got a lot more better looking cast, really. The storylines are a lot better and the effects are a lot better too. That's got a lot better over the years.
The typical characters in an action film, a hunky man, a pretty girl he fights for, the evil, ugly-looking villain, but on the odd occasion they throw in a different character, possibly a nerdy guy who turns into the hero, a pretty girl who turns out to be bad. But who should we have in our action film?
And a good way to promote these films? Television. Jonathan Ross Show, Alan Carr Chatty Man, good gossip programmes to sell our film.
Reviews will help us to focus and create the perfect action film based around what people like and what sells.
Heard of Fast and Furious, James Bond, Batman, Wanted, Gone in 60 Seconds, Transformers, absolute hits. Cars, explosions, gorgeous girls and guys. You've got yourself a killer movie.
When an action film is released in the cinemas, there tends to be a large poster displayed at the entrance to draw the audience in. You can also advertise on large banners and billboards in cities and larger areas to grab the attention of an audience in large quantities.
Advertising for action films can be done through male magazines such as bike, car and film magazines, war and women magazines to draw in a male audience, given that they are the main target now for action films.
Marketing looks into competition that a new film has against others. Battle Los Angeles is competing against War of the Worlds and Day After Tomorrow, given that they are both about the world ending and civilization being wiped out.
Check these clips. See anything similar? A car chase, yes, and plenty of guns. These are always a thrill in action movies. So let's whack it all in.
How many action films are out a year?
Roughly 20.
I'd say around 10 or 11.
50. 52.
Well, my guess would be about 10.
What makes an action film an action film?
It has to have some sort of a narrative, drama and a conflict within the piece, and then an equilibrium at the end to complete the conflict, I guess.
Good fight scenes, a bit of blood and death.
Action.
I guess the quick shots, the action, like the car scenes, chases, yeah, tension. Yeah, that's right. Blood.
What do you think about action films?
Pretty cool. Pretty thrilling. Well, they're action. Most of them are fast-paced, so you don't really get bored.
They're actually one of my favourite genres, along with thrillers. I do prefer them out of all the genres of films out there.
More needed.
They're fun to watch, they're exciting, they're constantly moving.
Not the biggest fan of action film, I've got to say.
What would you like to see in action films, or what would you change?
Fitter celebrities.
Topless women.
Just something more unique than rather the cliche plot.
More chases, I guess. More gunfire and stuff like that. Fighting, violence. More needed.
Overall, males prefer action films. They tend to be of the age between 18 and 40. Of the ages of 18 to 25, they have more time and extra money left over to spend on entertainment.
Over 70% of the people we asked said that they worked in retail, but 10% of the people said they teach a class of some kind. These people don't watch films as much as high street workers because of the duration of the film, as it may be too time consuming.
The age is constantly changing because of certification. Take Die Hard, for example. The first film in 1988 was rated 18. Since 1990 to 2007, they have been rated age 15, along with the majority of action films, which are also PG-13 to 15. The reason for this is that over time, the younger audience has become more mature and desensitised to rude language and explicit scenes.
On the other hand, looking into sexual orientation, we found that more heterosexual males preferred action films to homosexual males. This is down to the genre of car explosions that appeal to the stereotypical working man. Most box office figures for action films are very large, e.g. Fast and Furious 5, one of the most recent films out in the cinemas, grossed over $86 million from the 1st of May 2011 to the 9th of May 2011.
Reviews will help guide us creating the perfect action film by highlighting the main attractions of the film.
All action films are the same looking. Explosions and fight scenes are the best, but then that's why they are called action films. The main thing to look at with film reviews is if they are good enough for a sequel, they can be good enough for a game based on the action film.
Casino Royale is one of the best Bond movies and the best game from a film, giving fans the chance to play as a hero on Xbox, Wii and PlayStation.
Now we've got all the ingredients, we can mix it up, and what do you get?
Pizza?
No, an action film, you doofus! Why are we talking in American accents?
Dunno, mate. Just dunno.
Pizza?
Go on,
Yeah,
then.
go on then.